Hey guys, Scott Fishman here with a great guest as MLW. Make MLW actually part of your 4th of July festivities because they have a great show planned on July 4th. They don't take a holiday. Wrestling doesn't take a holiday. So, who better to talk to us today than someone who's going to be making his MLW in-ring debut, LaBron Kozone? How are you today?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So, you were signed, with big fanfare back in March, I believe. What does it mean to you to finally, after all these months, finally we're going to get to see this on-screen debut, this in-ring debut against Allen Angels? Talk about that.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's been a long time coming, I must say. MLW is a they put on a great production, and I look forward to just seeing how I look coming out with it all.
This was filmed in Atlanta, center stage. I mean, historic venue. Talk about just what the atmosphere was like and everything like that sort of thing, and being such a historic venue.
Well, it was the first time that I wrestled in Atlanta in quite some time. It's been a few years since I've had the privilege to perform out there. So I wasn't sure how the people were going to respond to me, but that crowd in center stage, it just felt very special.
And, committing to multi-years to any company is a big deal, especially someone like yourself who's worked so hard over, 14 years or so. Talk about why MLW was a great landing spot for you when it comes to like long-term commitment.
Uh, One thing is timing. I feel I just you have to look at the landscape of the industry, of where things are, and you want to be in a place where you become most effective. And I felt like MLW, with the potential that they have even still after 20 years of being in existence, and their progress and where they're planning, where they're going, where they're heading. To me, it was the perfect decision to choose MLW.
And when the announcement was initially made, Court Bauer described you as a blue chipper and a franchise wrestler in his eyes. I mean, how do you take that in? Do you feel added pressure to deliver? I mean, talk about just getting to know him and then just those words and what they mean in your eyes.
I mean, Court is awesome. Franchise player, great. I've been around for a minute now. I started wrestling in 2011 when I had my first match. Started training in 2008. So it's not my first time that I've been under pressure. I'm used to it. My thing is that I deliver at my very best, and right now I feel like I'm at my very best.
What about with when it comes to an independent wrestler, you're doing all the things right. You're presenting yourself well, you're having good matches, you're getting people talking, but maybe the opportunities aren't coming as quickly as you'd like, and you're seeing, your peers getting signed to all these big companies. I mean, talk about just from your standpoint over the years, how many times kind of have you been down in the dumps and thought maybe this isn't my career choice, or have you always kind of been, straight laced about what you want to do and what your dream and making that happen, or and then kind of what kind of got you through those tough times, for those who are independent wrestlers and maybe are going the same path as you are.
I don't know if anyone's ever been in my path. I don't know if anybody's ever going to be in my path. I've never really been down in the dumps because everything that I put primary focus on, I succeeded. When I first started after a year of being in this profession, I started promoting shows, and I did very well at that. And then 5 years later, I decided to start a training school and start training up wrestlers in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I did very well at that. And I had plenty of students to make it to different companies like WWE, AEW, TNA, traveled across seas to perform, went to Mexico, went to Canada, and I was proud of that. And then the opportunity came about myself where, I received a tryout, and the opportunity came about. I got to wrestle in Japan. I got to wrestle in Germany, and now I'm wrestling all across the states. And I've been offered a multi-year contract with MLW. So in my whole entire career, even though it's been a long journey, it's been a great journey for me.
Do you feel like everything happens for a reason and all these little steps kind of prepared you like right now, this is my time, this is my opportunity, and I have all the tools now, the experience that I've taken from everything to kind of really make the most of it? Because maybe sometimes you only get that one chance to kind of really impress on a bigger platform.
I feel like I'm at the perfect place at the perfect time. I don't want to say that I have all the tools because I'm always learning. I'm always growing. That's one of the reasons why I appreciate MLW, their platform, the wrestlers there in the locker room. They've got a lot more years of knowledge and experience. A lot of companies is the locker room full of young guys and a lot of inexperienced, a lot of guys that are not really passionate about what we do from an old school perspective. But MLW doesn't have that problem. It has a lot of great, talented wrestlers and a lot of passionate people a part of the locker room, not just wrestlers, but producers as well.
And is there, you mentioned you having your training school and you're still kind of working with a lot of talent. Any ones you're particularly proud of that maybe made such a big transformation or got this big opportunity that you have your like stamp on it, sort of thing, like that's my guy, that's my girl.
I mean, I try to, love everybody to a certain extent. I've had the pleasure of working with over 1,000 young men and women,
Wow.
just from a teaching standpoint of getting inside the ring and showing them how to protect themselves. And from there, I've had people to, go through the process of doing what we do, and they ended up having their first matches. To me, that's a big victory. And then they're getting booked at different promotions. That's awesome. And then they're wrestling in different states, and that's incredible. And then they're getting tryouts for WWE. Not only are they getting tryouts young age, like Javon Evans, who got a tryout at the age of 18 and ended up getting signed. They're driving. Like I did my tryout for that same company, and while I was there, Jackson Drake came up to me, gave me a big hug, said they just offered me a full-time contract to be on NXT. I'm like, wow, it's like, man, I'm my heart's built right there. And then I have a kid that used to drive 5 hours to come train with me, and he graduated from my program, and he goes by Mr. Elegance, and he's in TNA right now, and he's doing well. And one of my first ever graduates, Griff Garrison, him and Marcus Cross, they did well in Ring of Honor, and now he's still doing his thing in AEW, and it's cool because I still get to see and hear from all these guys. And it's just to me, it's warming to know that I make a difference. And not only that, I love MLW, not just the opportunity that they've given me, but also the opportunity that they're giving my students already. And I'm not going to be spoiled, but already they're taking recommendations from our training school, from Firestar Pro Wrestling. And, I have a lot. If y'all think the guys that from my school is talented, wait till you see the guys that are coming through right now.
That's great. I mean, especially I'm sure it helps with MLW setting up shop in Charleston, not too far. So having that opportunity localized, I mean, bringing in more guys and girls, that's going to be a great thing to kind of see in the next couple of years because we're just getting started here in this new era, it feels like with MLW.
Indeed.
You talked about having that tryout. What was kind of your takeaway from that experience? Anything that you kind of took uh, from that time, even though it was short, just getting like the opportunity to go in that area, that place, and kind of maybe see the experience for yourself while other students have gone through.
Yeah, it was amazing. I thought it was a great experience. I wish everybody that loves wrestling, that wants to do it, can experience something like that, where you're surrounded by some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Just they're passionate about sharing knowledge. All the coaches there at the Performance Center. I admire watching her work, whether it's wrestling, whether it's training. And then you have people like John Cena that's popping up, just listening to your promos and freely giving critiques and everything. The biggest thing, there's a couple biggest things, just being able to go under pressure and thrive. And then the other thing is your attitude. attitude is a huge thing over there, and that's my biggest takeaway. If you always got to have that positive attitude, because they have to see you every day. So, different the things that I gathered from that, working under pressure, having a positive attitude. I really want to bring to the table whenever I'm at a locker room like MLW.
What kind of feedback you mentioned, John? Did he give you any direct feedback that you kind of heard or
Not me personally.
okay.
There was a lot of people just surrounding him, and every just spitballing questions, and he was just answering everybody's questions in general.
Does it now you're MLW, does it add a chip on your shoulder to kind of really show what you're made of, maybe where others may have not seen that potential in you?
I mean, that's what I do, because not everybody knows who you are. Not everybody's going to know who you are, but the game is making sure by the time the bell is over, they remember your name. That's something that I've done every time I step in the ring. It's something I continue to do.
One thing, of course, this match is coming up. It's the first time we're going to see you wrestling in MLW ring. But before that, you had a training session with Kojima, Satoshi Kojima, MLW legend. I believe it kind of sort of went viral with, your lariat training session. So talk about what it was like filming with him, getting to know him on that level, and kind of presenting it, and then the response that you've been getting from it.
I mean, it was amazing. Like Kojima is somebody I have a lot of respect for. When I got the phone calls, like you're going to be working with Kojima, I was like, yes, perfect. Like I knew it was gonna be gold before it ever happened. Before just that's just it comes to show like the creativity of MLW. Like this, I feel like it's been slept on, and I hope more moments like that gets recognition, and more people get to tune in on Saturday nights for MLW.
You talk about that. So what as our fans and audiences are getting to know you in MLW, how would you kind of describe yourself and what we're going to see from you, not only as a performer that we're seeing in the ring, but as you mentioned, with these vignettes and videos and interviews?
Hmm. I mean, it's just me being who I say I am. I'm the ring warrior. I'm one of the best in the world, and I'm here at the major league here to prove that. I'm just that.
Any big Fourth of July plans?
Uh, well, Fourth of July is what day does that fall on? Is that
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 is
Saturday?
tomorrow.
Uh, well, guess what? I'm be on the big screen. Probably get some chicken wings, and I'm gonna enjoy the show.
Yeah, you got to celebrate. This is a big moment for you. I mean, talk about your opponent, Alan Angels. I mean, he's going to be your first opponent when the history books go on the television history of Fusion. That's going to be your first opponent.
It is, and I appreciate Alan Angels. I have a lot of respect for the young man. I was around probably one of the first promotions to give him an opportunity to perform outside of his home state of Georgia. Back in 2017, I got to wrestle him at AEW, one of my first matches over there at AEW uh, during the pandemic. Uh, and now, we meet again. He lives only 30 minutes from me, which is
Wow.
crazy. He just moved up here to the Carolinas. Now I get to see him more often. He was just at our training school show yesterday. Got to wrestle one of my guys. He's a phenomenal guy, and I wouldn't find any better choice for my first match.
I love it. What do you want to let people know if they want to follow you on social media or anywhere else? Like if they want to see you.
Yeah, just search LaBron Kozone. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on the Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. My website is kind of out of date. I wouldn't recommend that. But anywhere you want to find my matches, either search me or just keep watching MLW. You'll see a lot of me. Best
Love
believe
it.
that.
Where did that name come from, though? I think that's awesome. I love that name.
LeBron's my middle name, and Kozone stands for Knockout Zone. My dad came up with Kozone back when I was 12 years old. That was my original email. and we used to have the America Online chat. So all my internet friends used to call me Kozone. And it's like, cool. I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was 12 years old, and they told me I was too young. I said, okay, screw it. I'm going to be a backyard wrestler. Well, what's your wrestling name going to be? I don't know. Kozone. And then I started doing that, and my content from the yard was getting going viral. And then I had the opportunity to start training professionally. What's my name going to be? Kozone. So this just is who I've always been. Just take a little tidbits of that and making it mean something, and this kind of became who I am. With me throwing the lariat, knocks people out. With me taking Muay Thai training, learning a lot of strikes and uh, tricks out of that. It kind of flows with who I've always been.
Yeah, I love that. It's perfect. And, fans now MLW are going to get to know that name starting this Saturday. YouTube, 6:05 p.m. If you want to, get that barbecue fired up and check out MLW a little bit later on, Veeps, maybe during fireworks. And then Be in Sports. So 9 p.m. on Veeps, 10 p.m. Be in Sports. And then New Japan World, too. Don't forget that Monday's Japanese Standard Time. Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.